be the wheel suspension refresh video, I guess I'll call it. This is what it looks like. Fender liners are trashed. The stock Brembos faded really bad, so those are going to get redone. The pads and the rotors are still fine, just a little surface rust from sitting, being stored in winter. But they've been on the car for quite a long time, so I think I'm going to do a refresh on those too. I was kind of on the fence about doing wheel bearings just because of how expensive they are, and I don't have any wheel bearing sounds that like they're going out or they're bad. I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet and pick some up because these are toast. These coilovers have been on the car for a little under 50,000 miles, so we're going to see how well they clean it. I'm gonna start working on taking these wheel wells off, the splash shields. I got brand new ones of these. They're sitting up there if you can't see them. And then the inner side ones, I'm just gonna clean them as best I can. Alright, so next step, I am going to be removing the rear control arms, the top A arm, and I needed a ball joint separator, so I went to AutoZone, picked this thing up. Woo! There it was. They weren't making noise, but like I said, I'm just gonna do them. If anybody's looking for some Evo wheel bearings, I got a set of 4, 25 bucks, all 4 of them. Let me know. Got all of the suspension arms out. Actually, I lied. We got the lower control arm yet. So that's awesome. Good thing I bought some new ones. Alright, so a little update as to where we are at. I got all the arms off on the passenger side. It's a freaking mess in here, but I got the axle zip tied up to the strut tower. I will be doing the rear sway bar, but I'm going to be doing that at a later date. It's going to be dark here soon. And I still want to get this side all taken apart tonight yet. Alright, so in order to get this rear sway bar off, I gotta take the exhaust off. So in order to get this off the rest of the way, you can kind of see it's hidden on the exhaust. I'm gonna drop the exhaust. Alright, so I'm going to be cleaning up these spindles now, and then these backing plates. Just going to do a little bit of wire wheel maybe, and then some brake clean, see how well those turn out. I might end up painting these. We'll see how they turn out. So I wanted to clean these arms up. There's a few different methods online that I had seen. I just went with this Napa aluminum brightener. And I picked up this cleaning stripping pad from Ace. And then I just had some of these little metal brushes here. But look how they turned out. They look brand new.
3 days later.
Alright, so you could, as you could see, past few days I was cleaning the coilovers, and it was like mid-70s out. Okay, it is now like 30 out, and there's snow. So, and I'm wearing a winter jacket. You can probably see my breath. But I am getting ready to get everything together for powder coat, the stuff that will be. And the guy that's doing powder coating also does zinc plating. So I am going to get all these bolts zinc plated. So I took the time, measured every single bolt. If it had a washer, if it had a split washer, nut, the size of the socket needed for such, and it's very nerve-wracking because all these are going to go into a box and get shipped off, and it'll be a few weeks, and then by the time I even get time to work on the car, it might be a couple weeks, so it might be a month, maybe a little bit over a month until I see these again and ready to put them on the car. So I got this gauge that I used. It's from Dress Up Bolts. But yeah, got the metric there. So that's how I've been using it, and we're going to put them in a box, and hopefully when we get them back, I can figure out where they all go, and I don't have any bolts left. So
meanwhile,
so my old wheels, the tires were just about shot, and I've always had this kind of like philosophy, I guess, ever since I was in high school. But I was ever like, if I ever needed new tires, I'd always like just change up the wheels, right? So if you're like going to be mounting tires, might as well get it on a new set of wheels. So same as back then, I'm doing now. Even though I've had the Wed Sports for a while, I'm going to change it up. And I ended up going with some Rays Graham Light wheels. And when I bought them online, they had just kind of like a product photo, and I thought I liked the color. But then when I got them in the mail, I was not too fond of the color. So I'll show you like a picture right here of the product photo of what the listing online had, and then I will show a video here of how they came. And in the house, they didn't look too bad, the color. But then once I got outside and then just put them on the car, and then with the sunlight, I just was not a fan at all. So I will put some pictures here of what that looked like. And so it's like a gun blue 2 color. It's kind of like a matte blue, but the product photo, like I said, it kind of, or like I shown, it kind of looked more like a silver factory style wheel. So anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. I got them powder coated, and this is what they look like. So this is alloy silver in prismatic powders. So just got the wheels all loaded up, got the tires. I'm just sticking with the Firehawk Indy 500 255 4017. That's what was on the car. They lasted, I think it was roughly like almost 40,000 miles. So I do road trip the car, so that's gonna be a good tire. And then I thought the Wed Sports are actually really light wheels. So I'm thinking thinking I'm gonna get a 200 tread wear tire and keep those just for like autocross days and track days and stuff. So for now, just gonna stick with the Firehawk.
6 hours later.
I've kinda come to this, and I know I road trip the car a lot, and the wheel well it's never really seen, but just for the sake of like this video and for some own peace of mind, then I'm gonna clean it up, do some other undercoating, and then that's kinda messed up, so I'm getting some new ones of those. So let's get to cleaning this. Alright guys, it's the next day after doing the wheel well restoration little project, and it turned out absolutely insane. Super happy with it. Check it out. Alright, next up we got these Whiteline KCA 325. It's the like roll center adjusters for when like you lower a car to prevent bump steer. That will be going in these front control arms. Also, a little reminder, if you guys are doing this install too, you'll see this like little notch here. I don't know if you guys can see it, that little notch. That is where the rear bolt from your hub or from your knuckle goes through. So you want to make sure that is oriented towards the back. So, I'll pull this off. Set that aside. Alright guys, I have the first one done, the Whiteline roll center ball joint in the first control arm. I am going to just do the second one off camera because it's time consuming. So it took a while. In the video you only see a little bit, but there were many times to get this ball joint fully seated so I could have enough space for this snap ring. So alright, we're going to get on to the next one. So I got another little update. I just picked up all my bolts from Zinc and they look amazing. So now I have the fun part of reorganizing them all, measuring them all back out, the thread pitch and all that, and placing them back where they were. So let's get to it. Alright, so it's been a while since I've worked on the car, mainly because I was waiting for a bunch of parts, but I picked up a bunch of parts. I picked up my transfer case, I picked up the zinc, and then I'm going to go over some of the other stuff I picked up. Some stuff wasn't necessarily needed, but just kind of more of a preventative maintenance, and I've always been a big believer in, you know, like my car has taken very good care of me, so I want to take care of it, and I do have some pretty big road trips coming up. Next year. I want to go to Alaska, and the last thing I want is some sort of suspension, or in this case wheel bearings. So the wheel bearings, they were not making noises. They are very expensive, OEM ones, if you've ever looked them up. They're very expensive, so it was kind of like one of those things where it's like the ones on the car are fine, but like you've seen when I took them off, they are utterly disgusting. And if I'm thousands of miles away from home and like a couple hundred miles from any sort of like cell service, the last thing I want is my wheel bearing to give out. So I unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever, got some brand new OEM wheel bearings. So here's a look at the old ones again, if you forgot. And these things are just, I don't know. With everything I'm doing, this is the last thing that I want to... Ooh, little spider. But anyways, OEM. So here are the front ones, and then here are the rear ones. So I'm going to unbox those, and then we can check them out side by side. I also picked up some Whiteline sway bar links. I picked up the 26mm rear sway bar kit. I am doing some stainless steel stop tack front and rear brake line kits. And then I have the Centric parking brake shoes and hardware for the emergency brake. And then I did get all 4 brand new stop tack rotors, slotted rotors. Some Fortune Auto coilover covers. This guy likes some power steering fluid. Alright, this is the Whiteline 26mm rear sway bar for the car. Alright, gonna keep moving along here. Now we got the rear lower control arms and gonna put the coilovers back in, hopefully for the final time. We got some Volk Metalcraft rear lower control arms. Check them out. And then I also went ahead and got all brand new OEM bolts, washers, split washers, and nuts. Look, you got 65, 65, and 69. So. Right there, 138 foot-pounds. I'm going to start working on the brake line. So we got our coilover now. I'm going to put that in. Alright, so I got this bottom ball joint in there. I forgot to video it. It's been a lot of back and forth, and it's in. So I'm gonna torque this. I'm gonna torque the 4 wheel bearing bolts. Gonna do tie rod. We're looking at 65 foot-pounds, plus or minus 7. 65. This nut right here with this bolt, looking at 80 foot-pounds. All right, there we go, 80. The nut, 19, plus or minus 3 foot-pounds. All right, same page. Here's the shock mount with the bolt nut. And we're looking at 123, plus or minus 7. There we go, 123. Now that I got all the front and rear suspension on, we're gonna start and do the brakes. So I got all brand new rotors, pads, refinished the calipers, brake fluid. I got it all here. So we're gonna go check it out. Alright, now that I got the brake pads all on, we're going to start bleeding the brakes. And I did pick up this one-man brake bleeding kit. So here it is. Gonna just put that on there. It's got a one-way check valve, so fluid and air can go down, but nothing can go back up into the caliper. And then I can just sit in the car and press the pedal, and hopefully it works out. Alright, so it is a new day, working on the car again. My alignment is coming up next week, and so I was hoping to hold out and to get the Volk rear tow arms, but he is still in the process of making those, and I don't think he will have them made and be able to be shipped out until I get them. So I had full intentions of getting those, so I'm just going to throw the factory tow arms back in the rear. And then I'm going to put on the coilover covers. I'm going to try them out, just try and keep the coilovers protected as much as possible while on road trips. So I'm just going to knock that out. But other than that, everything's coming together, and Utah is coming up really quick here. So I'm just going to get these tow arms in and the covers on. and then check all the bolts, make sure everything's torqued right, and then we can get going on the wheels. So. And that torque is set to 60 foot-pounds. There you go. Beeps were the warning when you're getting close, and then the vibration was torqued. All right, here we got these Fortune Auto coilover covers. They do have these felt things, so those go on the spring to try and keep them looking nice. Alright, now that we got all of our suspension done, I actually did this morning. I took the car to get in alignment. Now we get to put, I guess, the wheels on for the final time. I took them off, cleaned them again, and I reached out to Overnight Crew. They make these Ray 57DR spoke stickers. I had picked up this this blue one, royal blue, I think they consider it. Ended up being too light, wasn't a big fan of it. So I picked up this navy blue one. I already got 3 of them on the wheels. They look good. Now I just gotta get the last one put on, but I figured I'd show you guys how I'm doing this. But I'll show you the first 3. So there's the first 3. And like I said, I'm gonna go with this one, the navy blue. And this was the original one I had bought. It was too light comparatively to the car and the caliper. You know, the navy looks a lot better. It matches better. So now to install this, you're gonna want this alcohol prep pad. They include them. So once you got the wheel clean, you're gonna take your prep pad that they provide. You just want to clean the surface, make sure there's no dirt, grime, nothing, so the sticker can stick on there. Real good. Then you're going to take clean microfiber. And then what I was doing is I was taking the sticker, kind of just getting an idea of where I want it. I kind of look at the other 3, see how the spacing is. I want to try and make sure the gap is the same so it looks even, so it's not like crooked. And then when I think I have it good, got some painter's tape. Just going to take a piece off, put it to the decal like that. And when you think you got it, wrap that around the spokes. That will hold it in place. Peel that back. Got scissors, cut off some of this extra. And then lay that down. Then you can come back, take the tape off. Flip this back. And there you have it. Your spoke sticker is on.